Okay, so now I have the privilege of introducing Brent Gove to you. So for those of you here for the first time or you guests or whatever, I'm going to explain who Brent is so that you know why it's kind of a big deal. Brent got into real estate in 1997, living in California, and he followed his parents into real estate, actually. They were long time, I think they were with Coldwell Banker or some one of the big agencies in America for many, many years. Brent followed in their footsteps. And in the past 23 years, Brent and his real estate team, they've sold more than 4,000 homes in California. So that's the first thing I want you to remember when you hear Brent speak today is this is a guy who is incredibly successful as an estate agent. He wrote the book on open houses. You can get it on Kindle. It's called Momentum. It will really get your mind thinking about how to use show houses in a far more creative way to create a buzz for your business. So he is a successful agent. Just remember that, because he's obviously done a whole lot more since then. Brent was, when he was with RE/MAX, he was with the 11th highest selling RE/MAX agent in the world. I mean, that's pretty good. He then left RE/MAX to join a kind of fast-growing, exciting business in the States called Keller Williams. He was with Keller Williams for a number of years, and I believe, Brent, you can again correct this if it's wrong, but he built the biggest Keller Williams team in the world. So he's now the 11th highest selling RE/MAX agent in the world, goes to Keller Williams, builds the biggest Keller Williams team in the world, and then he was approached. So obviously he's speaking in conferences now all over America. He's like a bit of a celebrity in real estate in the States. He speaks in conferences all the time, and when you do what we do for a living, you get a lot of people come and introduce themselves and say hi, and I mean there's just no ways you can remember anybody that you meet. It's impossible. And a lady introduced herself to Brent at one of his conferences, had the 20-second, hi, my name is so-and-so, oh, nice to meet you, glad you enjoyed today, etc. And that was it. And it was a couple of years later that this lady decided, she had joined EXP, and she decided, oh, I remember that guy Brent Gove. He's really cool. He knew what he was doing, and he's a good guy. So she phoned Brent, and she said, hi, Brent, my name's Sheila. You may or may not remember meeting me. I met you at a Hoss Pratt seminar 2 years ago. I want you to take a look at something. And Brent, to his credit, getting a phone call from someone he doesn't remember, I don't know how you managed to do it, Sheila, but she got him to watch a video. At that time, it was by a guy called Rob Flick. And Brent watches Rob Flick's video, and I've heard him say this, said, within 20 minutes of watching the video, I knew I had to leave Keller Williams, and he loved Keller Williams. I knew I had to leave and join EXP. When he joined EXP, Gene Frederick, who's kind of the grandfather of EXP, said afterwards, that day he told the people around him, our business has changed today. Brent Gove has just joined EXP. And it was a turning point for the business. Brent has gone on to build, over the last 6 or 7 years, the largest revenue share team in the world. So you hear our numbers, Ferdy's proud of getting to almost 200 agents, and well done, Ferdy. That's going to be a celebration when you hit your 200. These are the numbers we're getting excited about. Brent has got 40,000 people in his revenue share group. That's more, we just about don't have that many estate agents in South Africa. So he is an incredibly successful guy. Wherever he goes, whatever he puts his hand to prospers. He's a man of faith, and it's actually one of the reasons I joined this business. I'll tell that story a little bit more later when I introduce Sheila to you. But our hearts were knit together from the moment we met. He loves the Lord as I do, but he's also incredibly serious about his business. And we are incredibly privileged to have him. He's come all the way from America to join us. Brent, thank you so much for being here. Ladies and gentlemen, Brent Gove.
All right, good morning. How are you guys doing? Woo! Hi, Sheila. This is awesome. I was in the back there. Whoa, that's springy. I was in the back there looking across here. Man, this is where it all happens. This is where, I sat in the back and then I worked my way to this kind of the middle and then I got over here to the side. Then I got right in here, right? And as you work your way to the front, it's like church. You check it out. You first go to church. You sit in the back and what's all this about? Bunch of hypocrites, And then you're like, well, this isn't so bad. I kind of like what I'm hearing. You kind of work your way to the middle, maybe the side over here. And then all of a sudden one day you find yourself in the front. And you find your life's a whole lot better in the front. One of the secrets to my success is become a front rower. When you're in the back, and we all start in the back, you get distracted by people get up and go to the bathroom. You get distracted. Why'd they leave? They're probably leaving. They didn't like what the pastor said. They didn't like what was said. And it's hard to focus. So for me, I'm a front rower in life. How many think you should have a front row seat to your life? How many think you've had a back row seat for too long, right? Somebody else is driving the car. Maybe nobody's driving the car. I get way too much credit for what I have done. And personally, I would like to thank my Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ, because he is the one. He is the one. He's blessed me, given me favor. Come on, I got one fan over there. It's all right. You get up here and thank your lucky stars. Do whatever you want to do. It's my turn. I just choose to thank the one who made those stars and put them up there, man. So, man, and I just want to say this. I was here last year in South Africa. I took the tram up to the Table Mountain. I'm learning. And I can outrun cheetahs now. But I brought my daughters with me. They're taking they've heard me speak so much, they took the tram up today to Table Mountain. So they're up there, Dad, we love you, but we're out of here, 22 and 30 and cramping our style. My wife goes, I better go with them. So they're up on the tram right now. But man, it is so great to be here. I love South Africa. You guys are so friendly. What an amazing group. And talk about an amazing leader, Steve Johnstone. Let's hear it for Steve. He is amazing. Beautiful wife. You guys are mwah. And Andrew Thompson. Come on, let's hear it for Andrew Thompson. You got a great leader. So, but let's be honest. You got to have a dream. You got to have a vision. And I'll never forget the first time Steve showed up in America. He traveled a long ways, trust me. I landed yesterday and I was so jet lagged. I slept from the US to London and then like a baby, but I did have the lay flat seat, right? It's really nice. And I know I'm a little spoiled. So we brought our daughters and we're like, oh no, you're gonna suffer and coach. I did not fly in one of them lay flat till I was in my 50s. I was in there back with everyone. Isn't this great? I love it, 10 hours, And so my daughter was having some headaches. And so about 2 hours into the flight, I got convicted. I got up, I went and got her and put her in my little lay flat seat. She slept like a baby. And then I'm in the back going, oh, hey, everybody. You will meet people because you are pressed up against their bodies, right? I met all kinds of people. It was great. But we finally got here. I did not sleep at all on that flight. So when I landed, I thought, I'm fine. I feel great in London. Well, that's if you sleep from the US to London, you feel great. Oh, anyways, it's been wild. So I feel good today. Okay, you guys ready to go? So I have prepared something special for you. You guys ready? Let's do this. So number one, I want to say this. The key to success is to fail often and with velocity. Write that down. Because some of you are like, well, I need to say the script. I'm not sure how to do it. Just do it. Write this one down. I'm going to give you some one-liners. Progress before perfection. A lot of you are trying to get the perfection part, and you're like, I don't want to say anything stupid. I am the king of stupid, okay? Like, you know why I'm here and you're not? I'm going to let you in on a secret. I'm totally okay saying stupid things often. You're not. Your ego's like, well, I don't want to look dumb. I don't want to be that guy. I don't want to look this. I go, oh, you're a narcissist. You're so worried about what everybody else is thinking about you that you just can't love people and give yourself permission to fail. Permission to make a mistake. So for whatever reason, at the age of 19, I got into sales. I was a dishwasher, and then what do you do to make extra money? Sell stuff. When I was a kid, I sold aluminum cans and newspapers. I washed windows. In college, I washed windows. I washed dishes. I mowed lawns. You get scrappy, right? And you learn to fight. I've couch surfed. I had no money. Fried egg sandwiches for breakfast, lunch, and dinner. Then you get do you guys have peanut butter and jelly sandwiches? Is that a thing here? Then you fry them because you want a hot meal, right? And so everyone write this down. Suffering is a rite of passage in every business. If you're going to be a stockbroker, you're going to suffer. You just don't get in to be a successful stockbroker. You be an architect, you're going to suffer at the beginning. Listen to me, I want you to know, you will likely suffer in this business. And you need to know, it's okay. I'm going to give you a little secret. Write this down. Everybody struggles. Like right now, every single person in this room struggles. Now your struggle could be with finances, could be with sales, could be with prospecting. It could be you've been trying to build a team and you tried it and it didn't work, and you tried it and it didn't work. I tried to do marketing on the radio, spent thousands of dollars, it failed. Tried it again another way, spent thousands of dollars, it failed. Then I go, okay, I need to be on TV. Obviously, I have this really good looking person, right? Totally failed. But I tried it. That was a $140,000 fail. That was a huge, I don't recommend that. But I tried it. See, most people never try. Write this one down. Most people live a life of quiet desperation. So here's what I want you to do. I'm going to demonstrate the life of a real estate agent. As you guys say here, an estate agent. Ready? I'm excited, I'm depressed. I'm excited, I'm depressed. I'm excited, I'm depressed. I'm excited, I'm depressed. Up and down, up and down, up and down, up and down. That's the life of an estate. Do we all agree? Why are you excited? I got 3 estates in escrow. I'm depressed. Why are you depressed? I got nothing in escrow. You give a check to your husband, a check to your wife. Here you go, baby. And she's going to pay off the visa. She's going to take a chunk out of the next one. She's going to pay the power bill and the rent or the mortgage. And she's going to pay the insurance and the car payment. And she's so excited. You gave her a check and she goes, baby, that's awesome. And she goes, when's the next one coming? You're like, we ain't got another one. There's like nothing coming. And so that's when you got to get on your knees and go before the Lord and pray and ask the big man upstairs for some help. That's my secret weapon. One of my secret weapons is I believe that prayer is powerful and effective. It actually says that in Proverbs. Whether you believe it or not, I believe it. And so I would pray and ask God to help me. And he did. You with me? And it says, God resists the proud and lifts up the humble. Getting on your knees is like a humble thing to do. You're going, God, I can't do it all. Some of you are so proud. I'm going to do it all. How's that program working out? I'm going to do it all myself. I don't need help. I got this. Usually that's the guy who goes, hold my beer. Right? Nothing good comes after that. Now, so I'm going to write, my old book's called Momentum. It's been around for years. And it's the principles are great. The new book's going to be called Fail with Velocity. Because here's what most people do. They just sputter along in real estate. They sputter along. And like, I can't quite crack the code. They sputter along. 80%, 20% of superstars. I want you to invert that curve from this suffering to this. How do you do this? Massive action. Massive failure in a short period of time. You're like, okay, every time I do that, it doesn't work. But I said this on accident and it worked. Next time you say it again, it worked. And then you fine tune, that worked even better. And you do, wow. See, in real estate, my experience was in the beginning, I was terrible. I sold 3 homes my first 6 months. I was 30 years old. I'll be 58 next month. Come on, let's hear it for the old dogs. 58, okay? And I think when you sell 3 estates your first 6 months, you're not the rookie of the year or the month or anything. You're just like, and then I got in with both feet. I didn't have 1 foot in, 1 foot at the cellular company store, right? Which is what I did the first 6 months. I went both feet in, I go, let's go. And I didn't light the world on fire. I sold 18 estates when I put both feet in. And then I sold 28 estates the following year. And then the following year, my 4th year, I sold 48 homes. It was 1999. I made $393,000 US. So I guess you multiply that times 18, whatever that is. That's a lot of dough, right? And I remember thinking to myself, is this legal? Like, are they serious? Because I was gonna be a high school teacher, get a master's degree. With a master's, 80,000 US. That was my biggest dream, just have a family and try to support them on 80,000 US. And I was good. And then all of a sudden, I'm in real estate. If I want to take a week off, I take a week off. If I want to go to Madagascar, I go to Madagascar. If I want to go to Greece, I go to Greece. I don't have to ask anybody for permission. Like freedom, check. I coach Little League. You guys have that here? Cricket? I coach cricket. I coached rugby, right? In the US, I coached Little League and I coached what we call the proper word, soccer. Oh, you call soccer? The English. Well, I'm going there next, so I can't talk smack because they can get me when I go to their town. Anyway, so I'll stop. I heard a really funny joke from an English guy on the way here. I'll stop. But here's the deal. You have to be willing to go through the fire. So I want you to know it's okay to fail. And how do you invert that learning curve? By failing in such a short period. See, a lot of you go on a listing appointment once a month, once every 2 months. You go on a listing appointment every day. Well, no one's calling me. Well, why aren't they calling you? Ask yourself questions. Why are people not calling me every day? You should ask that question. Like, you ever see people, they have all these estates listed, right? And you see them and you meet them, they're not that sharp. And they have 18 listed, 7 of them listed, 17. So like, how? And you look at them and you're like, what's wrong with me? Nothing's wrong with you. You just didn't do the work. What do you mean do the work? They will never call you every day until you do the work. So write this down. I must, not I should, I'd like to. Write this down. I must, with every ounce of passion, conviction, energy in your body. Like, can you feel it? You must master lead generation. And if you will put your foot on that pedal, at I gotta learn about disclosures. No, you don't. I have to learn how to write a contract. No, you don't. I have to learn how to do a listing presentation. Stop. You don't have anyone to talk to. Well, I need to learn about, HOAs and about jumbo loans and conventional loans. No, you don't. Talk to my lender. Let them do it. What you need to do is you need to master lead generation. And here's the problem. You won't do it because it involves rejection. You played again, you said something and you did it wrong. And then they go, you know what, we're good. We're going to go with Remax. We're going to go with whatever company. And you drive and go, that was stupid what I said. And I say, guess what? You won't say it that way next time. The problem is you don't get to bat again for another 4 weeks, 6 weeks, 16 weeks. You're not failing enough. I want you to fail so much. Again, I'll say it again. I'm here because I'm the biggest failure in the room. I embraced failure. Because I embraced failure, I did it so much, guess what? At first, you'll be horrible. Then you'll be okay. Then you'll be better than okay. Then you're gonna be average. Then you're gonna be above average. Then you're gonna be kind of good. Then you'll be like, man, that was pretty good. Then you're gonna be, whoa, that was good. Then you're gonna be like, wow, I'm just nailing this thing. And then you're like, whoa, man, where was a video? They should have seen me, the kind of video crew. I just nailed it. Well, why did you nail it? Ask anyone. Anyone who golfs. You golf once a quarter, how good are you? Like, I don't yell 4 anymore. But when I was in golf, I'm like, whoosh, 4! And like, the fairway's that way, but you're screaming 4 over here. And it's hooked into someone's yard. People yell at you. Nobody yells at me golfing. I hit it down. Why? If you went golfing with me every day for the next 30 days, even if you're new, you're gonna be better. If you went surfing with me every day for the next 30 days, you're gonna be better. If you played ping pong with me every day for the next 30 days, you're going to improve. The problem is you don't play ping pong every day. You poke it with the stick. Write this down. If you hang out with A players, I mean people at the top of the game, like and you're here, you found your way into the room. I'm preaching to the choir. There are A players. Ferdy, amazing. Why don't you retire, Ferdy? I love EXP. I have no desire. People ask me, you got 40,000 people. Things are great, and they are. Why don't you retire? You know, if I hated what I did, I would. But I love what I do. Are you kidding me? I love what I do, and I'm motivated, and we live in an island in the Caribbean, and I start work at 1 p.m. every day. How would you like to start work at 1 o'clock every day? My wife and I walk the beach every morning. We go to the gym. We go meet friends for coffee. We pray together. We talk about our kids. We just run to Home Depot and buy light bulbs and filters for the air conditioner. And we do stuff like you do. And then around 1 o'clock, I get cranky until about 6:30. I do that Monday through Thursday. That's my life. I have boundaries. Do you have boundaries? When you work, work. And when you play, play. When it's time to be with God and you're at church, don't bring your business cards to church and you're handing out cards. Be at church to connect with God, right? Let the real estate take care of itself. Don't, it always drives me crazy. Can I put my ad in the church brochure? Right? You with me? And so, I think those things are important. So, number 4. Number 1, welcome. Number 2, I love your leadership. Number 3, the key to success is fail with velocity. Number 4, emulate success. Emulate success. What does that even mean? Well, when I got going in real estate, there's this guy, Brian Buffini. This is 27 years ago. In the US and North America, he's a celebrity. And his big thing, if I had to sum up Brian Buffini in one word, I would say love. He's a very loving man. Buffini and Company. Google him, look him up. He's still in business. An incredible guy. And his big thing is referrals. Let me ask you a question. Do your clients know you love them? I mean, yeah, they know I like them. Oh, I love to be liked. Don't you love to be liked? Or do you like to be loved? When someone gives you the kind of customer service where you're like, man, I just feel so special around them. They go above and beyond. Is that what you do for your clients? Or do you like them? Does your staff, does your TC, does your assistant know that you love them? Do the people in your revenue share, do they know that you love them? Do your kids, your husband, your wife, do you look them in the eyes and tell them and show them? Write this down. Your actions speak so loud I can hardly hear what you're saying. You know why I got going in EXP? Because I immediately started talking to people every day. 2, 3, 4, 5 a 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 day. And I did that for half a year. And I probably showed the video, that Rob Flick video. I showed it 30 times a month, 30 people a month. And 5 signed up. You mean 25 told you no? I failed 25 times a month. Are you failing 25 times? I don't look at it as failure at all. Many of those people signed up 6 months later, a year later, 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, 5 years later. I go on listing appointments. Sometimes I don't get them for 2 years, 3 years, 1 year. You follow up. Not the right time, not ready to put the estate on the market. But guess what? Sheila's sitting right there, my sponsor at EXP. Sheila, what did you say to James and I about 2 months after I joined EXP? I think it was December. Do you remember what you said to James and I? What'd you say? You're wearing me out. I need to go back to work. Are you wearing your sponsor out? Well, you're not very nice. I was terrible. Are you glad I wore you out today? Yeah. And what I do, I called her. Hey, what about this? 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 You guys are like, well, I don't want to bother Andrew Thompson. He's in charge of all of Africa. I don't want to bother Steve Johnstone. I want help. I'm like, hey, Steve, got a second? Hey, Andrew, got a second? He didn't respond. 10 minutes later, hey, Andrew, got a second? Like 2 hours later, copy and paste. Andrew, I'm still here. You got a second? Like, you're like, I get people all the time. Well, Brent, I reached out to you and you didn't respond. I go, it's February, right? I think, yeah, it's February. I'd actually think about that. When you live on an island, you don't know what day it is, and you certainly don't know what month it is. Doesn't matter. The sun goes up and the sun goes down. But so here's the deal. I'm trying to remember what I was going with that. Like, jet flag. What? Yeah, keep knocking. Thank you. So well, I sent you a message last October. And I go, and I didn't respond. No, did you copy and paste and resend it? Well, I didn't want to bother you. I respond to telemarketers. Like I get on the phone, hey, your job's tough, hang in there. I'm not gonna buy, but keep going, man. You'll make a sale. Your family's counting on you. My staff's like, get off the phone. You got EXP agents for y'all. I go, no, this person counts. A telemarketer is important as you are in my book. I don't despise telemarketers. That's an entry-level position. That's somebody's son. That's somebody's daughter. Be kind. Don't. Sheila was almost like that. If James had gotten your call, boom. And he cuts people off, held people. God let her get through to me. He was like a gatekeeper. I'm like, hey, would you look at EXP? I'd love to get your opinion. $100 million plus team. Yeah, sure. And that blew my mind. Who do you sponsor? You're looking for people who their mind is blown. Like if their mind wasn't blown, I moved on. But here's the deal. I sponsored 5 a month for 5 months. How many people did I put on my front line? 25. Who were they? People who sold at least 10 estates a year. That was my standard. You know, what's a really inexpensive hotel that's kind of janky in South Africa, but a chain or something? What? Formula One. Is he right? Formula One? Not the best place. Hey, baby, we're Valentine's. I'm taking you to Formula One. Right? I saw you dance. I saw a video of you dancing yesterday. I can dance. I got moves too. So I go, if he can dance, I can wiggle my hips, right? So here's the deal. We're going to, does Formula One really care who stays there? And in the US, we have a place called Motel 6. You know what their motto is? We'll leave the porch light on. Do you know why they leave the porch light on? Because you will get mugged on your way to your room if the porch light on. They have bulletproof glass. You slide stuff under and you have to pound on it. Someone comes up half asleep. You don't give me your money, $9 or something. They don't have standards. So then you got the Holiday Inn, you got the Marriott, you got the Westin, you got the Hyatt, you got the Four Seasons, you got the Ritz-Carlton, and they kind of know who their clients are. So I identified my perfect client, sold at least 10 homes a year. And then I shared EXP with them. 5 signed up a month. If they don't want to do it, I don't worry about it. I'm just looking for people to say yes. I'm not trying to take over a castle, kick down the door. I want the people light bulb pops on. It's the right timing. And I signed up 25 people who got it, and that's why I did really well. If you sign up new people, they have an 80% failure rate, and new people have friends who tend to be new. So you're in that 80, then you get 10, 20 of those people, and you're like mama hen to all of them, daddy rooster to all of them, and you're sucking up all your time, which is good. Let other people do that with the newbies, right? And I focused on people who were selling estates, and they had friends who sold estates, right? And so it worked really well. Does that make sense? So emulate success. So first I covered Brian Buffini, and then I emulated a guy named Craig Proctor, #1 RE/MAX agent in the world, selling 600 estates a year in a small town. He sold his first house, Craig Proctor. What's the name of that town? New Market, about 100,000 people, that's it. Is that the size of Cape Town, 100,000 people? How big is Cape Town? No, it's way bigger, it's huge. 3 or 4 million. Imagine 100,000, so 600 estates in a town of 100,000, not 3 or 4 million. And so I went to Toronto thousands and thousands and thousands of miles away with money I didn't have, stayed in a hotel room I couldn't afford, and I sat in a room just like this. But where I sat wasn't in the front row because it was my first couple of years in real estate. My neighbor said, hey, we're gonna go hear this Craig Proctor guy. I wasn't even smart enough to go. But I went, and I sat back here. And nothing against you guys, I sat here too. But I was back here, and can I squeeze in here? Is that okay? So here I was, and I'm watching this. Oh, there's my picture up there. Check that out. And so I was in the back, and this guy next to me, well, I'm gonna point over here because it's not flattering. He's like, this is such BS. Look at all these people here. And what did we pay to be here? And it was like $797 back then. It was a big group. You go, he's making a fortune just doing the trainings. If he offers coaching, I'm out of here. At the end of the day, he offered coaching. Craig Proctor did for normally $997 a month, but if you sign up today, you can get it for $697 a month. And this guy next to me, see, I'm being nice. I didn't use you. He gave us these books. He slams it shut, steps up, and he just looks, scowled, and just stormed out of the room and slammed the door. My seatmate. And I'm like, I don't know him. I do not know that guy, right? It was embarrassing. And because his mind was closed. I got up about 30 minutes later and went to the back of the room and signed up for coaching. Hey, Jay. Hey, Ashley. Good to see you guys. I went and signed up for coaching. I'm the sucker who not only paid to go there, but then I paid for coaching. And guess what? I went from 48 sales that year going, I'm maxed. I can't say, how can anybody do more than 48 homes a year? To guess what? The next year I sold 118. I doubled. So what was step number 4? Emulate success. I simply copied everything Craig Proctor did. If he did this, let's see, I don't break these. If he went this way, I went this way. Are you with me? If he zigged, I zagged. If he bobbed, I weaved. I just copied him. Can you copy someone? You want to be a top-notch commercial agent? Find the best one in town and copy him. Go to work for him. I decided to go to work for a star in Sacramento. The year I sold 48 homes, I made almost 400,000 US. Someone get your calculator out. Who's quick? Times 18, 400,000 just to make it easy. It was 393, we'll call it 400,000. Times 18, I want to know what the rand is. 8 million, roughly. 8 million, is that good? I was excited, right? But I'm like stuck at 48. So there's a guy in my town doing 178. Everybody I knew in my town was doing, the elite superstars were doing 60 to 70 states a year. One guy doing 100 more than everyone, lapped everybody by line. I go, I'm going to work for him. Don't know him? I don't care if it's a 50-50 split. So you used to get hung up on the splits. Now, if I'm already producing 400,000, how much will I pay to go to work for him year one? How much? $200,000. Then I'm gonna learn from him. But you're so focused on what you're taking home that you're not emulating success. Are you with me? Yep. So I started copying him. And then the next year I went to 178 estates. And then the next year I went to 223 estates. Then I met a guy. So we're sitting back there and I wasn't shy. And I met a guy, I'm sitting next to him, we're talking. And he's like, well, who's selling 100 or more homes a year? And my neighbor stood up. I'm like, so stand up with me. And they're going, and I sold 178 homes that year. And I go, who sold over 200 homes? And I sold 178. If you sold over 200, stay standing. Well, I had to do what? Sit down. And my neighbor's standing. If you sold over 300, 400, 500, 600. I'm like, oh my gosh. Can I just rub up and down on you or something? Right? That was weird. Okay, I agree. That was weird. But I do weird stuff. I'm not afraid to fail. Like, he rubbed on that dude. There was an inch separation. It looked like I rubbed, right? I kept an inch. There's a man code. Now, depending upon what kind, never mind. So this guy's name was Jay Kinder. #1 Coldwell Banker agent in the world. So I followed Brian Buffini, all about love and loving the clients and serving the clients and having their best interest at heart. Then I followed Craig Proctor on marketing and leverage and team building and staff. And then I went to Jay Kinder, #1 Coldwell Banker agent. We're also selling over 600 estates a year. He's from Oklahoma. Like, where's kind of a country bumpkin place in South Africa? Out in the sticks a little bit. Seriously, name somewhere. What'd she say? Say that.
Pofadder.
Yes, that. That place. Out there. That's where Jay lived. So I flew to Porf Adden. That's what she said, okay? You guys didn't hear it right. I heard it, Porf added. So here I am in Porf added. And I'm sitting there and I go, Jay, can I shadow you? That means you sit quietly in a chair and just watch them work all day. It's called shadowing someone. And you just observe. You don't get in the way. He goes, yeah, come on. I go, I won't say a word. I just want to watch you work for a day. See what I can learn. At the end of the day, he goes, what'd you learn? I go, you sell 600 homes a year because of the radio. He was running ads on the radio by a guy named Matt Wagner, who's now super famous. And Matt, he had one client, Jay Kinder in Lawton. He was selling Taco Bell, the Golden Bonanza Corral, the athletic shoe place, running ads, very small time. I said, would you come to California and do for me what you did for Jay? Remember, number 4 is emulate success. I just copied Jay. And guess what? I went from 178 sales to 330. And the next year I went to 427. So my first person was Brian Buffini, then Craig Proctor, then Jay Kinder, and then the market crashed in the U.S. and I went back to Taco Bell. No, I'm kidding. But it was rough times. And guess what happened? I went to work for Keller Williams. That's what made me leave. People leave their brokerage when they're in pain. So it took 10 years for Keller Williams to recruit me because I was happy at RE/MAX. I was making good money. I love my broker. And Keller Williams was an incredible company, but I'm also very happy at RE/MAX. So I stayed. Some of you are frustrated you can't sponsor people in EXP. It's not their time. You're moving on. It's like you're doing one listing appointment a month. Go on one a day. Master lead generation. You just got to talk to enough people. By the way, when they say, what's the one thing you could do to move the needle in your real estate business this year? Show property every day. If you just somehow, I'm showing property every day. I don't know who, but you're passionate and intense. And somehow, somebody's going to see his house today. A condo, a halfplex, a duplex, a starter home, a fancy home, a second home, a beach home, a piece of land. Somebody's seeing something today. And when you get that level of commitment, you go, anybody, raise your hand if you've heard of a guy named Zig Ziglar. Raise your hand. A lot of people. Zig says most people are wandering generalities. I'm going to go to the office, see if I can set up some showings later this week, maybe book an open house for this weekend. Very general, very general. But he says what you really got to become is a meaningful specific. Oh, I'm starting to slobber. When I start doing that, it's getting good. That's why they pushed the seats back this year. Everyone complained here. Ugh. It's a splash zone at SeaWorld. So here's the deal. But I'm like the Pope. It's holy water. I'm just blessing you. It's holy water. So here's the deal. Where was I? SeaWorld. Before SeaWorld. Zig Ziglar. You got to go from being a wandering generality to a meaningful specific. You got to know what you're doing every day. And you got to be passionate. You have to bring energy to it. Remember when you first met your husband, you first met your wife, you were so excited. And you brought a flower, you wrote a card, you were so pumped you couldn't wait to see her. Now you get home, how'd your day go? Fine. Can you take out the trash? No, I'm watching the game. When you first met her, can you take out the trash? You bet, baby. Where do you want me to put it? Woo-hoo! I'll put it in your neighbor's backyard. Where do you want it? I'll do anything. Energy. And then when the energy goes away from the relationship, we just drifted apart. We don't feel connected anymore. He doesn't treat me the way he used to. She doesn't treat me the way she used to. What if you say, I don't care what she's doing or I don't care what he's doing. I am going to show up and rock her world. I'm going to rock his world. And if you continue to do it, I mean really do it, he is going to go, oh, well, baby, I should do something. Like me, caveman. Not too bright, but I'm not that stupid. And then he'll start giving back to you because men are cavemen. Tell me I'm awesome and hold me. That's all their needs are. We're that shallow. Women want quality time. I hate that one. It's hard to do. You're trying to make a living. Well, I haven't seen you all day. I know, I'm trying to put groceries on the table. well, I don't feel connected to you, so none of that tonight. What's he talking about? Wait till you get married. Now, energy is the key. Like, I did an open house, people don't respond to me. Because you're not like, You got to have some, right? What do they say to you? Do they have access to estates from the internet here in South Africa? Like we have the thing called Zillow in the US. Do you have Zillow here? Do you have anything like it here where people get access from the internet? Do they ever say, hey, I got a lead from Property 24. I got your card, no thanks, right? They ever say that? So I said, that's great, but I'm networked with over, hundreds of the top agents. And we share our listings, our estates coming on the market before they go on the market. If you're shopping from Property 24, you mentioned you've been looking for 4 months or 14 months or 6 months. How's that going for you? Not very good, because you're shopping leftovers. If you work with me in addition to your agent, there's no law that says you can't have two unless you signed a contract with your agent that they own you. Does your agent own you? Have you signed a contract? No. I go, then it's safe to have two. If they find you a home, please don't call me. Call them, write the offer through them. It's the right thing to do. But if I find you your dream home, because I'm gonna find you something you can't get on Property 24. I'm gonna find you something your agent can't get you because it's not on the market yet. And then do it. Talk to people. Jane Ashley, what do you got coming on? Steve, what do you got coming on? Right? And Bob, what do you got coming on? Jill, what do you got coming on? And do it. Here's what I got coming on. Share with them. Do it. Don't have it be a lie. Never lie. Have integrity. But do it, and you'll get. I taught one gal how to get pocket listings. She had 14 of them. She had her own private, what'd you call the thing? Property 24? How'd you like to have 14 estates in your pocket? She double-ended 8 of them. They weren't ready to go on the market for a while, but I taught her how to list them early. And you couldn't put them in Property 24 because they weren't ready to go on because they were painting the house and they were re-flooring the house. That's another day. I could teach you how to do that. But here's the deal. I go, what I'm asking for is the right to give you a service you've never had in your life. I'm asking to spoil you absolutely rotten. And if I bring you your dream home, and I will in the next week or 2 or 3, I really believe I will. And then I'm looking every day with focus, every day. If you need an alarm clock to wake up, your dreams and goals aren't big enough in life. Man, I bounced out of bed when I was in the hunt at 6:30 in the morning. Some of you are 4 a.m. people. God bless you. I mean, do they even let light and oxygen out? No, they don't let light out. And that's good. You should get up at 4. Get up at 3. I don't care, right? But here's the deal. I was looking and calling him. Hey, I didn't find anything today. I'm looking tomorrow. And I'm texting him. This guy's working his butt off. Hey, I found something. It's a little bit outside of where you want it. It's a little bit more than you wanted. Square footage isn't quite right, but check this out. And I got one. It's coming to the market. It's over here. And I'm just working. I'm like out working their agent. And then I made a list of 27 hot buyers. And I sold 19 of them homes. The real estate trainer said, you need to contact 100 people to sell a house. I mean, I just run and jump off Table Mountain right now. 100 people? How about selling 19 out of 27? Because you got passion. You got energy. You show up to the open house and you show up to the open house. You got fire. You listen to what music that inspires you. You pray to God and ask him to give you the right words and favor with the people that come. You play the game before you play the game. In the rugby, world championships, see them do the haka and all that, and the intensity of South Africans, they're amazing. Man, they're focused. You need to focus. Oh, I'm slobbering good now. You need to focus. You need to time's the speedster, it takes its toll. Every day's the Super Bowl. Every day. Like, what if you treated every day with so much, I don't know if I can do that. You can do it. You must do it. Otherwise, you will live a life of quiet desperation. I'm just not like that. Listen to me, your life is a movie. You're the director. You got a bad set? Move. You're not stuck out in Pardonia. What was the name of that place? Portofino? Yes, Portofino. You're not stuck out in Portofino, baby. Like, run from Portofino. Like, I gotta live over here. Are you stuck there? You're not a tree. Move. You get some bad actors in your movie? Did you get some bad actors? Write them out of the script. Who you hang out with matters. Remember I said A players? If you're in the presence of A players, your productivity jumps 15%. You're like, I'm just so motivated. She motivates me. He motivates me. Duh! Duh! I don't know what, I feel good. 15% increase in productivity just by being in the room with them. Also, hanging out with B players, you know what the effect is? Who are B players? Nice people. I'm going down to the office today. I'm gonna set up an open house this weekend. I'm gonna, review the file, make sure it's complete. I'm gonna see if I can contact some clients in my database and see if I can set up some showings. Maybe they're nice people. B players, good people. Drop 30%. Your productivity drop because they're so chill, they're so nice. Your productivity goes down 30% if you hang out with B players. Up 15% A players. Slight difference. 45% difference in the quality of your life financially. Who you hang out with matters. Write that one down. That's a nugget. Be intentional, be purposeful. The screen went blank. I've been watching it, the countdown. Does that mean it's over? There it is, it's up there. Oh wow, okay. This one went blank, it shifted up there. Power going off at 12. Okay, I'm gonna end with this. The power's going off. All right, to hell with it. So, they're like, shut up, you're done. Oh, my mic's, all right, thanks for having me. Thank you. My mic's dead.
Back up if you wanted to.
Well, no, I'm okay. I said enough. Thank you, buddy. Love you, man.